Have you ever wondered how South Africa, a multicultural nation rich in diversity, came to be? This story begins with the early inhabitants of this land, the San and Khoikhoi people, who thrived here for thousands of years. Their lives were about to change dramatically with the arrival of a new power on the horizon. In the year 1652, the Dutch East India Company established a supply station in what is now Cape Town. This was the first significant European settlement in the region, marking a new era for South Africa. But the Dutch didn't stop there. Dutch farmers, known as the Boers, began to expand further into the interior. They forged new territories, and their influence began to spread across the landscape. This was a time of exploration, expansion, and the beginnings of a complex history. That was the beginning, but it was the clash of cultures that would eventually shape the nation we know today. Imagine the upheaval when British forces seized the Cape of Good Hope area in 1806. The annexation was met with fierce resistance from the indigenous Boer population, sparking a period of conflict and strife. This resistance was not futile, though. It spurred the Great Trek, an eastward migration of the Boers which led to the establishment of independent republics, a testament to their indomitable spirit. However, the discovery of diamonds and gold in the late 19th century intensified European arrival, adding fuel to the already simmering tensions. The allure of wealth led to the infamous Anglo-Boer Wars, a series of brutal conflicts fought over the control of these precious resources. The human cost was immense, the landscape of South Africa altered forever. The aftermath of these wars set the stage for a new era, an era of segregation and division. But that, dear listeners, is a tale for another time. Can you fathom living in a society where your rights are determined by the color of your skin? This was the harsh reality for many South Africans during the era of apartheid, a period marked by systemic racism and brutal segregation. It all began in 1948 when the National Party ascended to power, implementing a policy of racial segregation that would change the face of South Africa forever. Under the guise of separate but equal, the government sanctioned the creation of Bantustans, territories set aside for black inhabitants. In reality, these were under-resourced areas, designed to relegate the black population to the fringes of society. Widespread human rights abuses became the norm, from forced removals to police brutality. Resistance was met with violence, but it also sparked global outrage. The Sharpeville massacre of 1960, where police opened fire on unarmed protesters, killing 69 people, sent shockwaves around the world. 16 years later, the Soweto uprising, led by students protesting against the imposition of Afrikaans as a medium of instruction, further exposed the brutalities of the regime. Amidst this turmoil, a beacon of hope emerged. A leader who would become synonymous with the fight against apartheid. A man who would inspire a nation and capture the world's attention. His name was Nelson Mandela. And his story, like the story of South Africa itself, is one of resilience, courage, and an unwavering belief in the power of justice. In the face of such adversity, a beacon of hope emerged, a man named Nelson Mandela. What does it take to dismantle decades of institutionalized racism and bring about democratic change? Let's take a glimpse at that pivotal moment in South Africa's history. In 1990, after 27 long years behind bars, Nelson Mandela walked free. His release marked the beginning of a new chapter, one that was about to rewrite the history of a nation. But freedom was just the first step. The real challenge lay ahead, the negotiations for a new constitution. These talks were a tightrope walk, balancing the need for immediate change with the importance of unity and reconciliation. The end goal was clear, a democratic South Africa where all citizens, regardless of race, were equal under the law. In 1994, the impossible became reality. The oppressive regime of apartheid was finally dismantled. South Africa held its first democratic elections, a momentous event that saw millions of black South Africans voting for the first time. The result? Nelson Mandela, once a prisoner, now the first black president of South Africa. His leadership marked a new dawn, steering the nation towards a future of hope, equality, and justice. South Africa's history is a testament to the resilience of its people, a story of pain, struggle, and ultimately triumph.